Thanks for joining me on the 249 Marathon Project Week 10 update. In this video, I'll go through all of Week 10's training sessions and I'll discuss exactly where I'm at the minute in this whole project. If you enjoy this content, maybe you're a runner yourself, maybe you're training for an upcoming marathon. Whatever your reason, if you enjoy it, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, you won't get spammed with email. It's just a little something that you can do to help me out by putting the 249 Marathon Project in front of more people and hopefully making it more achievable. So the Week 10 update. This was a week of highs and lows. If you've been following along, you know that I've really been struggling over the last 3 weeks or so with lack of energy, bad sleeping habits, not being able to get out of bed, unmotivated. Well, a couple of things to say about that. First of all, towards the end of week 9 and into week 10, that subsided and my routine was just clicking really nicely. I did have my blood test scheduled for Friday in week 10. I got it done. I don't have the results yet. I thought they would be quicker. I was misinformed. I will have the results of the blood tests early to mid week 11. I felt much better going into the start of week 10 and full of optimism. It's so nice when you get back to feeling like yourself after, a few weeks of not being with it, if you know what I mean. It just, I wasn't in my routine. I was finding it hard to get out of bed. And all of a sudden, about Saturday of week 9, everything's just started to click. So that said, that part of the struggles that I was having is behind me, hopefully. However, on the back of that, I was getting some feedback from people, which I really appreciate. So thank you so much to everybody. I started taking my heart rate variability reading. So my watch is the Garmin 245. It does not have that built in. It does actually record your HRV. It just doesn't have any way to report it. There is an app called HRV Plus, which I downloaded using Garmin IQ. I've installed it, and I do test myself every day, every morning, as I said I would. The issue I'm having is I don't think it's giving me anything near an accurate reading or anything useful, because I can take an HRV reading. It's a 5-minute test. You just sit comfortably and you don't move, you just kind of chill. And after 5 minutes, it gives you a number. But my number seems to be all over the place. So it ranged from in the 40s up to the 80s within this 1 week. And as a matter of fact, within a day, within 10 minutes, if I do the 5-minute test right now, it completes in 5 minutes. And then if I run a second test immediately on the back of that, it's, there could be quite a bit of difference between that test and the previous one. So I'm not convinced that's correct. I don't know the first thing about HRV or what I'm looking for, but I don't believe the numbers I'm getting are what other people are getting who have a watch that regularly takes their HRV throughout the course of the day, or however it records it. So I'm just not convinced it's useful. I did put the HRV numbers on the blog post. The blog post will be in the show description. So please do take a look at that and let me know your thoughts. If you are familiar with HRV and have any feedback on that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let's start the sessions. Week 10 started with Monday, which was a rest day, as it usually is. I was coming off a really good run on the Sunday of week 9. It wasn't a particularly long run. It's what I would call a medium long run. And so, yeah, Monday rest day felt good. Tuesday was a 6-mile or 10K tempo session. And the way I executed that was 2K easy, 6K hard, 2K easy. So I ran it in kilometers. The hard portion, the tempo portion, had a 640 per mile target, or a 4:09 target per K. I wore my racing shoes, my Alphafly ones, my ones that I will be wearing for the marathon. I've got 2 marathons in them and probably an additional 40 miles or so. So there's not a, there wouldn't be 100 miles on these shoes yet. Plenty of pop. I love them. I wore them because I was looking to get a confidence boost. I wanted to be able to hold my pace, which I haven't been able to do the previous 3 weeks. And I wanted to just feel fast. It's an important thing up here. If you can feel fast, you'll have that going forward into the later sessions during the week. So I wore the racers, and yeah, best run I've had in weeks. It was absolutely fantastic. Granted, I know it's not perfect for where I am now and what I want to accomplish, but it was a very, very good run. The average pace of the tempo portion was 6:22 per mile or 3:57 per K. I was very pleased with that. And Wednesday was my first long run in 10 days. It was a 24 miler or a 39 kilometer run. This started out excellent. It was a beautiful morning. I was wearing my Asics Nova Blast 3s. They're a very comfortable shoe. And so the first 17 miles were excellent, comfortable. I worked on a few things. I worked on my nutrition, worked on hydration, that kind of thing on this run. And then mile 17 came around and I started to feel discomfort in my right adductor. It started with some discomfort. By mile 18, I had a choice to make. Do I continue on and make this a 24 miler, or do I cut it short and just go straight home and make it a 20 miler? So I chose for the latter and went straight home. I do not want to miss an extended period of time again, so I'm playing it safe. I cut the run short. It turned out to be a 32K or just under 20 miles, like 19.94 or something like that. Overall pace was 8:20 per mile or 5:11 per K. It was a big disappointment. I'm concerned, but not overly concerned. I remain positive. I remain optimistic. I will go out and try again. Thursday, because of Wednesday's discomfort, I took it as a rest day. I did not run on Thursday. Friday was a planned rest day. I kept it a planned rest day. Saturday was a planned long run, a 20 miler. I decided I would go and test the leg and see how it felt. I did 5K, 3 miles, roughly about an 8-minute mile. The discomfort got worse and worse. It started at about 3K. I decided I would just definitely only do 5K. And yeah, it turned out to be just over an 8-minute mile, 5:02 per K. Just not comfortable at all. Pain started after 3K, so not ideal. So Sunday was meant to be a 10 miler. I had a rest day, didn't do anything. I went to a local 5K in Elda, it's the next town over, and it was excellent. It was huge. It was about 1,000 runners at it, and the quality of the runners was superb. The winners won it in about 14:30, and it was neck and neck. It was a fantastic finish. And there was probably about 6 or 7 athletes under the 15-minute mark. Very, very good race. And it was so good to be part of the sport, even as a spectator, when I'm not running. It's a difficult thing. We all struggle mentally when we're not able to get out and run. And for me, I like to be involved in the sport, watching it, coaching it, just staying involved helps me mentally. So it was nice to do that on a beautiful Sunday morning. As far as the strength and conditioning goes, I did all 5 days of my 20-minute body weight routine. I did 2 days of my yoga. better than the previous week, but not quite as good as I wanted. I did do some extra stretching, however. I will continue to do some extra stretching on this groin area and try to get some relief. It may just be a strain, it may be a tightness. I'm not 100% sure. I will do what I can to get this better as soon as possible. Okay, let's go to the metrics. So I weighed in. I did get a proper weigh in this week. It was 153.4. I'm down 1.8 pounds from week 8, which is 0.8 of a kilogram. So that's positive, considering my lack of volume in the last 2 weeks. Also considering the amount of calories I've been consuming. I suppose there's been a little bit of comfort eating and trying to, get over my disappointment with where I'm currently at. But yeah, I don't know. I did eat a little bit more than normal this past week. My average resting heart rate is up 2 beats per minute to 41. According to my watch, my 7-day average heart rate variability number is 55.7. It sounds low to me. As I said, during the week, it was anywhere between the mid 40s to the mid 80s. There's a huge difference there. So I'm not convinced it's an accurate number. My average nightly sleep is down to 6 hours and 25 minutes, much closer to normal for me. That's down 102 minutes per night on average over the previous week. I'm waking up at a normal time for me, and I'm getting out of bed. It just feels good. I'm not even, I'm not dragging myself out of bed. I'm popping out of bed and getting up and getting my day started early. And that to me is a real good sign. I mentioned before that I felt I was sleeping too much, and it definitely was. And this is much closer to normal for me. On average, I consumed about 2,200 calories during the week, and of that, 130 grams of protein per day. 130 is a little bit low, however, it is a little bit better than it has been. On average, I'm around 3 liters of water per day, so again, an increase, that's a positive. I only covered 29 miles last week, or 47 kilometers. That certainly isn't the volume that is going to be sustainable to achieve what I want to achieve, so I will need to get back to a bigger volume with more quality intensity. Let me just start by saying in 2021, I missed 10 months of running because of 2 torn adductors. I had MRIs, seen the specialist. It was rest, 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 rest. I went back about 8 months later and more MRIs. Okay, one of them's better, the other one's not better. So 2 months more rest. So I missed a total of 10 months in 2021. So I'm very hypersensitive when it comes to the adductors. I don't think I could handle it. I wouldn't want to deal with another 10-month hiatus from running. It's not healthy, particularly when I'm not with my clubs and doing my coaching in person. 10-month break wouldn't do me any good here. I am still confident that I can achieve what I want to achieve. I just need to adjust. I need to see where I am, reevaluate, and when I'm back to running, I can make a plan to achieve what I'd like to achieve. Will it be more difficult? Almost certainly. Will it be impossible? No. You've seen the week 11 video with next week's sessions. I don't think I will carry out many of those sessions, if any. We'll have to see. I will probably go out midweek and see where I'm at, go for a slow jog like I did on Saturday here, where I did a 5K. I need to just test it out, be gentle, mindful, and pay close attention to my body and what it's trying to tell me. For the week 10 lessons learned section, I think if I was to do this again, And I will do this again, no matter what happens at some point. I will get as close to race weight before starting the program. I think it would be far more beneficial from a recovery mode to be fueling my body more towards maintenance calories as opposed to cut calories. It's an effective way to lose weight, what I'm doing. Is it the best way to fuel your body for performance? Probably not. I have had extremely good results from training with these methods. That's, this training regime works for me, but is it ideal? Can I get better? Can I do things in a more productive way? Of course I can. The biggest fool in the room is the person that knows everything, right? Ego is the enemy. I don't believe I know everything. I don't believe that this method is the only way that I'm going to improve. There's a dozen ways to do anything. Next time, from a recovery point of view, I would want to get down to my race weight. I don't think I'm going to get down to the race weight that I was hoping to get to. I would want to get to race weight first, or get close to race weight before I started getting into the hard stuff. It would certainly make the race pace feel easier and more achievable rather than training at a heavier weight. Now, training at a heavier weight and losing weight as you get down to race weight and closer to race day, you're going to feel lighter. It's kind of like baseball players swinging the on deck bat. Some of them would have a sledgehammer or a cement filled aluminum bat or something along those lines. It just makes the actual at bat feel easier and quicker. I liken that to dropping weight for race day. You just feel lighter, you feel faster, and you are capable of running faster. Imagine carrying a 20-pound dumbbell in your sweatshirt and trying to run 26 miles, right? You lose that 20-pound dumbbell and it's going to feel a lot easier and it's going to feel a lot faster. Getting to race weight earlier would probably be a more beneficial way to train and recover and possibly prevent injury. Okay. Thanks for sticking around. It's been kind of a tough week. It's been a tough week mentally as well as physically. I can't say I feel great about where I'm at. As you can imagine, I'm putting myself out there and I'm sharing this whole experience. Things certainly aren't going the way I expected them to, but at the minute, it's psychologically and emotionally and physically a lot more difficult than I was expecting. So that said, my eye is on the prize, 249 in Valencia. I'm not changing that, and I'm just hopeful that I can get back out running within a week, 2 max. And if I can, I'm going to give it everything I've got, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes. That's it. Look, yeah, appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. I really, really appreciate all the support and encouragement, all the nice messages. If you're following me on Strava and you see I haven't been doing much, well, there's your answer. It has not been a great week. Thanks again. I will see you on Friday with the week 12 training sessions, and I hope to be more optimistic, more hopeful, more physically capable of running in week 12. Okay, that's me. Have a great week and happy running.